In today's video, we want to implement this login screen with Supabase and Google OAuth. Therefore, I prepared this task list. As you may know from my other videos, we will go through together and implement it step by step. Let me quickly show you how it works. So we click sign in with Google, then this screen appears. As you know from other applications, we choose an account and we are logged in to our application. In this case, a timekeeper I implemented for me privately. And yeah, as you can see in the bottom left corner, I'm logged in with this account now and can use this. So let's get started with the task list. The first thing we need to do is to implement the OAuth stuff into our web application. This part I will not cover in detail, but I have some information here. The first thing is the documentation from Supabase OAuth. You can go to the link and find here a comprehensive doc about how to implement everything in your application. I also created a comprehensive prompt you can use to implement it in your project with Claude Code or any other AI coding assistant. So you could just copy it and yeah, it will implement everything for you and then you can go on. I already did this with my project. I used Claude Code for this. As I showed in my last video, you can find here. As soon as you have done this, or you can do this in parallel and go to the next steps, we can quickly mark this as done. We can go on with the Google Cloud console setup and do the configurations. So the first thing you need to do is log in into your Google account, go to the dashboard, and then here on top, it says timekeeper for me. There are my projects. I already created one to test it out, but we will create a new project now. So we got a clean state. I name it timekeeper YouTube. The rest is okay for me. Create. And we can now select this project immediately. Then we can mark this step as done and go to the next one. Just copy the URL again. And you can also find here some information in the task list. I link it below the complete task list so you can follow. You can click here on this icon to get more description. So we need to go through the get started and configure the OAuth. Timekeeper YouTube is app information. Yes, just my email from the account. Audience is external in this case, as mentioned in the description as well. Go next and put in contact information, or you need to, smartphone.diy. We agree the terms, continue and create. As soon as this is done, you can create your OAuth credentials. We can do this directly from here. Create OAuth client. Application type is web application. We name it again. Timekeeper in my case. YouTube web application client. And we need to also configure the authorized redirect URLs. So for the local one, you already got this, I guess, from your application. So if you run it on port 5173, then you can take this from the example here. Just copy paste it. And now mine will run on 5174. Paste this in. Oh, didn't want to close it because we need to add another one. But we need to go first to the Supabase configuration because we don't have it already. And for the Supabase configuration, we got two parts. We got the cloud configuration and we got the self-hosted one. We will start with the cloud hosted and then go to the self-hosted. So you get both variants. So we open Supabase. I already have it here, but just copy paste it again. We create a new project. Timekeeper YouTube. Password. Choose your location nearest to you or to your audience and create new project. The next step is to enable and configure the Google OAuth provider in Supabase. We can open this description here as well. And this we can do here on the left menu, authentication. And then go in the second menu to sign in providers. Make sure allow new users to sign up is enabled. And then we need to scroll down until we find Google. We click this. Yes, we enable it. And then we need the client ID and the secret. But at first we will finalize the client ID or the web out in Google. So we can find the callback URL now here. Copy this one, go back to Google, add it here, and then we are done with this configuration. So we can save this one. Configuration is okay. And then we can go in again and copy the client ID from here, paste it in. And then we need the secret as well. Go back to Google, copy the secret from here, paste it in, and click Save. So we now did this step and this step. So we enabled it in Supabase and we updated the redirect URL in Google. And what we now need to do is to configure our web app with the configuration from Supabase and the OAuth. Okay, back to our web application in Windsurf IDE. I'm now in the .env.local file in my application, and we need to set the Supabase URL here again and the add-on key. We can get this from the dashboard here as well. So we go here in the dashboard to project settings, then to data API here in the second menu, and then we can find the project URL here on top. We copy it, go back to Windsurf, paste it here. Then we need the add-on key as well. You need to click here to go to API keys. And then you can find it here, directly copy and paste it as well into your application. Okay, the next two steps are the application configuration. So we need the app URL and the redirect URL. In my case, they are already correct. So it was set by the coding assistant correctly. And if it's not correct, you need to set them correct. Okay, so we can mark this as done as well. And then we skip the self-hosted configuration for now and come back to it later. So what we now can do is run our application. So install everything with npm install in my case, or your build tool, npm run dev. And as it looks like it started now on port 73 and not 4 as I thought. So let's change this here in the URLs. You may have this as well. Then we check in Google as well, the redirect URL. So we already have it open here, and change this one as well to the correct port. Save. And now it should be okay. Then we open this URL in the browser to see our application, and hopefully it shows the sign in button correctly and we can use this sign in. Okay, it now loaded the application on port 5173 as we saw in the terminal. We see our login button here and we can now test it out. Let's click sign in, use an account to log in. To get this prompt, we will continue. We see the correct callback here on top and we are now logged in. As you can see on the bottom, I'm logged in with this email address and everything works as expected. We can also check the Supabase database. Go here to the Supabase dashboard of our project, go to Authentication, and we can now see the 2 users I tested with my email, so they are now present here in the users table as well. Maybe a quick tip: if you want to just test it out and create one login and don't want others to log in then as well, you can quickly go to sign in again and disable the allow new users to sign up. Then you can still log in with your existing accounts, but no one else can create a new account on this. Okay, now we want to configure the self-hosted variant as well. So we need to go to our Supabase folder. You may know this from the self-hosted installation guide I made. You can find this here if you don't have it. And yeah, you need the .env file and the Docker Compose YAML. In this case, we need to change. So we open these two. I already did this in my notepad. I move it over. So these two files we need to change. Move this here. So the first thing you need to do is to extend the env file with these variables for the Google authentication. So you can just copy them and paste them here as I did. Then you do the same as we did in the configuration in Supabase in the dashboard. This you have to do for the self-hosted variant in the .env file, because you can't do this in the web application of the self-hosted one. So you set Google enabled here. You set your client ID from Google again. You get the secret again, and the redirect URL is localhost and your port where the self-hosted Supabase is running. By default, it's 8000. And then you got these allow list here as well, where you need to put in the redirects URL again. So with the correct ports, so 5173 in my case, for the normal application and for the auth callback. As this is done, we can save this and go over to the Docker Compose YAML. Let's mark this as checked. And for the Docker Compose file, we need to add these variables as well. It's the same as here on top, but we reference it. So we get the keys here and reference the variables from the env file. So you just paste this here in the auth service. Let me go a little bit here. So here in the auth service, you go down to environment, and at the end, before this comment, you add this. So we get the setup for the Supabase OAuth configuration. You can mark this as done, and then you need to do the same as we did before. We have to configure the configurations in our web application. So we go back to Windsurf in my case. I already prepared this, so let me remove this, and we need to enable these two. So again, localhost 8000 if it runs on the default port for you as well. And if you run it on production on your own domain, of course, you need to change this to your specific URL. And the same with the anon key. The anon key you configure in the .env file for the self-hosted variant. So it's here on top. You can get it from line 8 by default. Copy paste it here. Okay, the rest is the same. The app URL and the redirect URL is fine. So we can save this. Let me rerun this. npm install, npm run dev. Application is running. Let's refresh the page. I already have it here open. Let's quickly go to authentication here as well. And I already got these accounts in from testing, but let me remove them so we can see it's really working. Okay, as you can now see, it's empty, no users in our local Supabase users table. And we got our sign in again. Go sign in with Google. Got the same screen as before. Choose an account. And we are logged in. Now let's verify it really uses the local variant. Let's refresh here. And as we can see, the user is there. So we are using our local self-hosted variant. So we can mark this in the task list as well. And we already also did the test and verification. So we can mark this as well. And then, yeah, you can test your application a little bit more. So we already did. So for example, you should test if the sign out is also working. So we can quickly do this as well. In my application, it is working. Here on the bottom left, I have a sign out, and this works perfectly. You can sign in with another account as well. So everything works as expected. So we can mark this as checked as well. As you can see, it's not that hard to implement the Google OAuth with Supabase for your own application. Just a few steps needed to do that. And I hope this helps. I plan to do another video for the Stripe integration. Let me know in the comments below if you like this, if I should do this, and let me know about additional stuff you need to know about Supabase. You can find more videos here, so just check them out. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.